Welcome back, subscribers and followers. Looks like I got a lot of reviews on the last one in my collection. Just 5 films that not a lot of people like, and actually a couple of people liked it. Liked the ones that I picked out. But today is Tuesday, and today being Tuesday, it's Tuesday Night Terror. So just so you know that I used to do Saturday Night Screams, which was on Saturday, and um, I've got to work Saturdays now, so I won't be able to do that anymore. So now I'm going to do Tuesday Night Terrors. And if you follow me on Facebook, it's Brad Richter on Facebook. Uh, I'm picking 2 movies out that I watch, and tonight's going to be the Ghoulies 1 and Ghoulies 2. So I figured I'd just go ahead and do a review on the first 2 films. This is the DVD, which basically only contains like the trailer, and it's in widescreen, I believe. Yeah, they're both in widescreen. They both have the trailer. The second one has a stereo sound. So the Ghoulies, to start from the beginning, I saw Ghoulies, the first one, which was made in 1984 and came out around 85. And then the second one came out in 88 and was made in 87. The first Ghoulies I remember seeing at the rental store, like I mentioned before, the Video Barn, and I rented it for the first time in 1988. 1988 is when I watched the first Ghoulies. So it had been it had been out for 4 years, 3 or 4 years. Let's see, be 85 when it came out, so I would say probably a couple, 2, 3 years. Had been out on VHS, and I watched it, and it was PG-13, so I was allowed to watch PG and PG-13 horror films at that point, and I liked it. Some of the actors in it. Let's see, who's in that? Lisa Pelican, who played in the movie Jennifer prior to this. Peter Lipus, who actually went on to play in Fast Getaway 2, and he directed some movies. Michael Desbarres, who went on to play in Poison Ivy 3, he's still doing movies and stuff. The late Jack Nance from Eraserhead and Motorama and Meatballs 4 and Twin Peaks. But yeah, that's basically the storyline of Ghoulies is about a guy who inherits this house, and him and his friends have like a seance, and then it brings up the person that would prior to the beginning of the movie, about a devil worshiper that had taken the mother and killed her, and the baby happened to be the guy that got the house. And Jack Nance was like the person that took care of the baby after all these years. He was kind of like a caretaker of this house. And the one thing then in the beginning of the movie is when the woman gets killed, she has like a big gigantic bump that comes out between her chest, and yeah, it's kind of crazy for PG-13 rated movie, but I guess 80s, a little different. It's not as bad as you look at movies today, but yeah, I really like that part. I also like the part about the two dwarfs that were in the movie. The lady dwarf, Tamara Detirix, I think her name is. She actually was in the costume of E.T. She passed away, and the other dwarf, he also passed away. Of course, we all know Jack Nance. He was a great actor, by the way. I mean, Eraserhead, Twin Peaks. He's a great actor. He's definitely missed. So basically, they get the house, and then all these ghoulies, and they have one that looks like a goblin kind of thing, and then you've got a toad-looking one, and like a rat. And I think in the second one, you actually see the one that flies. But one of the catchphrases for the movie was, "They'll get you in the end," and you see one of the green ghoulies come up to the toilet and flush it. But there is actually a porcelain, or not porcelain, but there's actually like a figure that has a ghoulie coming out of the toilet for full moon. I released it. If I had a picture, I would show it, but definitely check out fullmoon.com and fullmoonentertainment.com, or whichever the website is, and look it up. And there's got like a ghoulies on a toilet, and you can actually move him away from inside the toilet and all that. I'd definitely be cool to get that. And the catchphrase for the second one is "They'll get you in the end again." Um, so, yeah, that's the first one. Would I recommend it, Ghoulies? I mean, if you like Gremlins that came out in '84, and you like there's a couple other little creatures that had Munchies that came out in '87, and they had Hobgoblins that came out around '87. But Ghoulies was like the second one after Gremlins. I really enjoyed it. I would give it a definitely 7.5 out of 10 on the Richter scale, and I would definitely recommend this. This are definitely good to upgrade this, which is something I'm planning on doing here one of these days, upgrading this double feature that's also on Blu-ray. Now going into the second movie, this is more creatures in it, and more of like at a carnival, and you have, I think there's like 5 different ones in the Ghoulies 2, and it's got about a guy who lives with his grandfather, or his uncle. Sorry, it's about this guy who lives with his uncle Ned, and he has this Devil's Den, and it's like kind of like a scary spook house and stuff. Now this movie actually has a lot of people in it that went on to play in a lot of other horror films. You got Carrie Remsen, who played in Pumpkinhead. She also played in After Midnight, and then you've got William Butler, who played in Friday the 13th, 7 in Blood, Leatherface Texas 3, Night Limited Remake. He actually directs movies and does special effects. And the one thing that I really thought was really cool is Phil Fondacaro, the short guy, the dwarf in this movie. He really did a great performance in this. You may remember him prior to this playing in the Dungeon Masters with his brother, and you may also remember him as one of the Ewoks in Return of the Jedi. But most people finally remember him is from Troll, and he also played in Tales from the Crypt, Bordello of Blood. He's a great actor. That was one of the little people that I would definitely like to meet. You got Damon Martin, who went on to play in Amityville 1992, It's About Time, and you got the late Roy O'Dano. A lot of people remember him from movies from the 50s and 60s, but he played in an Amazing Stories episode that had Mark Hamill, and it was about Gather Ye Acorns, where somebody keeps all these collectibles and ends up selling them all. He also played in Killer Clowns from Outer Space and The Dark Half. Enough about all the people that went on to play in other stuff. Before I go into more of Ghoulies 2, John Buechler actually did the makeups for this and the second one, and he directed the third one, which was Ghoulies 3, Ghoulies Go to College. I'll do 3 and 4 in another review. And you have Albert Band, who directed this one, and Luca Berkovici. He actually is an actor. He still does directing and acting today. He's the director of that one, the first one. And Charles Band and that's back when there was Empire Pictures, not Full Moon. He produced both films. Ghoulies 2, pretty much just as much as fun as the first movie. It's got a lot more. How would I say? You got a lot more violence in it. I do know that the Jay Downing, the leader of the owner of the carnival, he goes to the restroom, and you see a ghoulie. You don't really see it, but he knows that there's a ghoulie in there, and he kills him. So you just little things like that. And then one scene where he eats all the other ghoulies and the green ghoulie, and you have one gigantic green ghoulie going around stomping around, and you have to kill him off. So it's all fun and it's all good, but the main thing, other than the film, is the soundtrack. The soundtrack is by the 80s rock band, heavy metal band, Wasp. Blackie Lawless did a music video for this, Scream Until You Like It. Prior to this, he had done like 3 or 4 albums prior to this. He's actually still does a lot of music today. He's done 20 some albums, and that's one, not the only reason I enjoy this, but it's one of the reasons why having Wasp in the not in the movie, but the soundtrack, and actually they did a music video with some of the Ghoulies in it. Screaming to You Like It's really great soundtrack. Other little things, Ghoulies 2, the first time I saw that, like I said, that came out in '88, so it was around VHS ran '89, so I think I saw it first time like '90, '91, and I liked it. There was things I liked it more about the first one than because it was funnier. There was a little funnier moments in it, especially when you have the little person in there and he's got the little seat and little trailer that he lives in. But yeah, I mean, there's and also the one scene where the guy gets it in the toilet, and you get William Butler and in the movie, and you get. But another, I forgot to mention that there's two other kids in the movie. One is the brother of Corey Haim from License to Drive, happens to be in the film, and the kid from Night of the Demons. Donnie Jeffcoat Jr. is in this, who also you may remember him from Wild and Crazy Kids. It was on Nickelodeon. There's a couple of people in there that I forgot to mention. And Sasha Jensen, who also is in the movie, who went on to play in Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, and Dazed and Confused, and saw him a little cameo appearance of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the movie from '92. So, enough of all the accolades from the actors of whatever they've done. The Ghoulies 2, would I recommend it? I recommend it, yeah, definitely would. Give it a 7, a solid 7 on the out of 10 on the Richter scale. Definitely, like I said, just like the first one, I definitely would upgrade it to Blu-ray. So yeah, I mean, I'm happy to have it on DVD, even though the Blu-ray would be a better picture, better sound, probably a couple little features on them. I'm not real sure. I haven't really looked it up, but I do know that the trailers on here was fine enough for me. And the Blu-ray is probably not a flipper disc like this one is. So yeah, that's Ghoulies 2, 1 and 2 movie review. That's the back of the cover, and there was no insert on the DVD. So hopefully you enjoyed this 12-minute review. Like I said, I'm gonna try to do a review every Tuesday. Tomorrow I'm going to do. I have thinking about either doing a collection from my wrestling collection, or I'm going to pick another 5 movies from my collection and talk about those. And then, like I said, I won't be able to do a video Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, but I will return back on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday to do reviews. And that's basically going to be the 3 days I do uploads: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday after this week. And so yeah, hopefully you enjoy this review, and thanks for all the comments that on the last video and all the comments in the past. And yeah, hopefully you have a great Tuesday, and I'll catch you on the next video.